Do you remember seeing a movie about 3 weeks before the...
No.
A movie on the Billionaire Boys Club, sir?
No, I never saw that movie.
Do you know anything about that movie?
I don't know a lot about the movie, but I know a lot about the actual case.
Did you ever mention seeing the BBC movie and talking to Dr. Oziel about how the father in that movie reminded you of yours?
No, I never said that to him. I went to Dr. Oziel because I was ready to kill myself. There certainly was never a conversation with him about the BBC movie that you're referring to.
Is it your testimony that you never mentioned a BBC television show?
Yes.
But you indicated you are familiar with the BBC television show.
I'm aware of his existence. It's a miniseries, I believe.
And the Billionaire Boys Club movie involved the son being involved in killing the father, is that right?
Yeah, it's about the real case.
Do you remember watching that with your brother?
No, I never watched that with my brother.
Dr. Oziel indicated that you had told him about this BBC special about the son being involved in his wealthy father, that once you saw that, you and your brother started to discuss how your father was similar to the father as depicted in that movie, and that you discussed how to get rid of your own father. Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said.
Do you remember talking to Dr. Oziel about your motivation for killing your parents?
Yeah.
Did he tell you that you saw the Billionaire Boys Club movie, that's why you did it? Did
No,
he tell you
that was never discussed in the session.
Had you known about the Billionaire Boys Club movie before you ever talked to Dr. Oziel?
Yes, I did.
And so when he said that you spoke about the movie, he wasn't making that up, was he?
Dr. Oziel did not testify that I saw the BBC movie. He testified that I saw a movie on the BBC or a BBC special. This BBC movie that you're referring to is also a miniseries. It's not a movie. And that's all that I'm trying to tell you.
How do you know that?
Because I know about the movie. I was friends with a kid whose brother was involved in it. And he used to talk about how his brother was innocent. And I knew about the case.
Mr. Menéndez, you've testified that you knew this movie was a miniseries. You knew one of the sons of the father that was actually killed by the BBC. And are you telling these jurors that you don't know what Dr. Oziel was referring to when he said that you spoke of watching this movie on the BBC?
The first time that I ever thought that Dr. Oziel might be referring to this movie was when you brought it up here in court. And you said it was a miniseries on the Billionaire Boys Club. I knew about the case from 1986 when I had watched a 60-minute program with my father. I mean, I knew about the case for years. I certainly didn't need to watch a movie to know about the case.
So that gave you the idea?
Watching a 60-minute program with my dad?
Right.
No.
Now, what were you talking about when you said that you saw this plot, this movie on the BBC, that you and your brother discussed? The father depicted in that movie reminded you of your own father.
I never said that. The father in the movie was, I assume you're talking about Bryant's father, and he was nothing like my father. I don't know what the movie portrayed the father to be, is what I'm saying. But Bryant told me a lot about his own father.